Good morning. We're here at 30660 Primrose in the metropolis of Gilliam. We just went and toured the house. I haven't exactly scoped out the outside yet, but this is kind of your front house view. You've got this little stone fence, if you will, barricade. We'll just do the outside first since we're already here. Some cool cedars. Some of them starting to encroach pretty close to the house, but they seem pretty old to me. One of my favorite trees. Quite a bit of pasture to it. We do have this old kind of wood style siding, but there's no doubt it's chipped all throughout. You can see just with the slightest touch we're starting to fall off there, and whether you just want to slap vinyl on over it or you want to scrape it and repaint it to kind of try to maintain as much of that authenticity as you can, it's time to do something. You can see our old cedar tree buddy here starting to encroach into the soffit. A few cracks. I don't see any major lips so far. You do have what seems to be all single pane windows throughout the house. Some painted shut, some operable. But there's our basement, which does have a walkout. Here's kind of your backyard view. So quiet, even being next to whatever highway this was. I haven't heard much yet, but I'm sure it doesn't get too much traffic anyway. Looks like we've got a sewer clean out over there. So it's a bit imposing from the back. You get that extra 6 or 7 feet with the walkout there, and it sure is tall. More of the same with the siding back here. Back here I see a bit more deterioration in the soffits. But they are those wood soffits, so they need the same treatment you're going to give to the siding. You either need to be scraped, repainted, and spot fixed, or just go and put metal, flashing, or vinyl on them for the sake of the longevity. Did you get some decent pictures of the barn, or do I need to trek in there too? Or does it just need to come down? Okay. Barn sounds like it's kind of just a scrap barn, but he got some photos of it. Some cool feature windows throughout the house. Here's an old AC condenser. I have to wonder if that's even. I don't think that's. Oh, never mind. Clearly not. I just missed the one that was right behind it. So that's got to be our new one. Which is a plus because it's, 30 years newer looking. We've got metal roof, not standing seam, but aside from spot fixing and caulking some spots, there's no reason it can't last you another 30, 40 years or longer. All right, let's head on in. Got some spots where you can see the concrete starting to break away a little bit. Car siding on the front porch looks good. Over here on this side, I don't know if humidity or what, but we definitely have to scrape it and paint it again. This other side looked pretty good though until you get to the end. Sure are a lot of wasps though. Chris been out here making friends with them. All right, as we come into the home, got a lot of options. Off to the left, we've got what I'm going to call the formal dining room. It's got some cool built-ins with what I'm thinking is original fixtures on them, but maybe they've been replaced. Kind of hard telling. They do sort of match the doors handles that we've got throughout the house. Little bay window, a sitting nook. We've got some radiant heat. And so while we do have central throughout the house, I have to wonder, without being winter, are they using primarily, it looks like there's a furnace downstairs, but then there's also a boiler. The word escaped me, thank you, sir. A boiler down there, and so maybe these radiators are the primary source of heat. It would be worth doing an inspection, or at least testing that ourselves. So the other option, we can go straight through, take a left to the kitchen or a half bath, go upstairs, or where we're going to actually start, in the living room or sitting room. You can tell they've repainted, probably they themselves. Paint job doesn't look awful, but it doesn't look like it was professionally done either. Fireplace looks like it's in good shape. Got a kind of a concrete poured mantle on the top there. The wood floors throughout also look like they're in pretty good shape. I don't know if I have a problem believing the ones down here original. The ones upstairs look newer, so maybe they've just refinished them, but that's something we'll probably never know. This takes us right back there where we can either make a left and head back towards the front or to the kitchen, which we'll get to. Our first bedroom of the tour, kind of like the rest of the house, it's got that big 6-7 inch tall, thick chunky trim with a quarter round, but same windows and everything else that we've seen. Throughout the house, all the bedrooms have what I would say larger than average closets. This one I would say smaller than average. You've really just got one area to hang there, and even then it's kind of blocked by that vent duct. So continuing counterclockwise around the house, we've kind of just got what used to be, I think, kind of a mud room. This used to be a door, we're thinking that, well, we know because it still has the old lock, but now it's just turned into a feature window out to kind of that walkout area where we used to be. There's no stairs or anything anymore, and that window there is just a fogged window to the half bath, which we will get to. So this would have been our original coat closet coming in from the back of the house. Prepare for color. Everything in here is yellow till we get to the kitchen, then it's kind of got like a seafoamy green, but the stained glass windows do look cool. I mean, they are textured. This is raised, so I mean, it's got quite a bit of history. But I would say this is kind of your informal dining if you wanted to just have a little coffee breakfast nook. Laundry is also located in the kitchen. We could assume that stays with the house, but bare minimum it's negotiable. Just to get you a little different profile here. Definitely an older stove. We've got this one here, which is also a bit dated. They've painted the cabinets. Is this like just a built-in cutting board, top of the line? And moment of truth. Oh man, wait, never mind. It does. It's got a Lazy Susan. So it's a winner for me, but I know you guys have other things to talk about before it makes the cut. But looks pretty good. This kind of chef's door, or galley door, is what kind of sealed the deal that this was for sure the formal dining room where we started. Back through here, we got two options other than going straight where we came from. We can either go left into a half bath, decorated with some tasteful llamas and elephants, and some stick down tile, but a new vanity. No exhaust fan, which is interesting because that's not the exterior of the home there either. That's that mudroom that we were talking about. So it would be worth thinking about installing an exhaust fan. Since the basements are kind of all doom and gloom, I'm going to go ahead and go upstairs first. We do have, it's cool tile here in the front. I mean, it definitely adds character, but the whole thing needs regrouted. And there's definitely some spots like here where you've got some broken, and I'd be willing to wager they don't have any spares. So it would be an interesting patch job. The wood casing and balusters look good on the railing. Kind of our first clue, we weren't working with sheetrock, but you can kind of see it in a lot of the walls. You've got stereotypical plaster cracks. But I mean, that's kind of what we expect with a house of this age. So same thing, we're going to start and just work counterclockwise. So when we first get to the top of the stairs, we've got a full bathroom, the only full bathroom, and it has definitely received the most amount of love. Updated light fixtures, updated double vanity, was that hexagon tile throughout. At least I assume it's not just, yeah, it's real tile. Whoa, the only, I think, replaced window in the entire house that's going to be insulated is this one, but it does have a very cool walk-in shower with all the little features and things. So, in the rain feature up top with the cutout to store everything.
Flow toilets.
What flow toilets?
Low flow.
Oh yeah, I guess the basement one does have that too, so they've replaced that toilet.
Joe and Chile.
Do what?
Spanish for made in China.
Oh yes, yes. I bet there's a lot of that going around. But we'll continue around. Oh yes, this, I didn't really see much of it downstairs, but up here, let me get an angle where you can kind of see. I think you can see it from there. So this, all wallpaper. Here, they've scraped it. You can kind of just see that line. Oh. Kids' birthdays. Anyway, over there, I don't think they tried to really take any of it off. You can see all of it, but here you can kind of see more of the same. So yeah, on the ceiling we can see some watermarks. With recent rain and no water pooling, I kind of have to assume that it was pre-metal roof, but can't be sure until we're up in the attic. And here you'll see what I was talking about some bigger closets. I mean, it's pink, so that's not its best trait, but it's got a built-in dresser, and it's definitely got more walk-in space. All of the doors kind of have this same, you can kind of see in there that, I don't know, they look kind of gritty, like they've been there a long time, but maybe they're made to look custom gritty, or maybe they really are that old. I'm not an antique expert, but then you got the built-in shutters with effort. Most or all of them will work. We tried a few of them, but for the sake of not sitting here all day doing it, moving on. These are those floors that it looks like have just been finished more recently, but that being said, they've still got some wear to them. Our third bedroom, it's got one of those built-in closet systems that you have to, some assembly required. Looks like there used to be one of those built-in dressers here too. Is that? Okay, no, that's just plaster. Okay. They ripped it out and installed this in the hanging there. Bedrooms are all oversized, but I understand that yours, it sounds like, is way oversized. So while I'd say they're way above average, there's none that are just, to quote Chris, there's none that are bowling alleys. Little reading nook, kind of off the edge of the open area at the top of the stairs. Bedroom number 4, pretty standard, more of the same. This one's got some built-in bookshelves, and then instead of pink, this closet got the yellow treatment. And for the last room in the house before we head down to the basement, well, aside from board game and linen closets, which is pretty spacious, the last room is the primary bedroom, I guess you'd say. Or at least that's what they're using this room as. It's the only one with a bed, so. But that looks like a king to me. So plenty of space in the room, although you kind of have to space it interestingly with the windows being there. Closets of comparable size to the other ones. I'm guessing that's why they have the additional storage there. Ceiling, I mean, more of the same as what we're seeing throughout. We've got cracks, we've got some watermarks. Looks like they kind of refinished this one in here. I see some spots where they've touched up. But that wraps up the upstairs. So I'll head down to the basement, tell you what we find there. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Saved me another trip. All right, now if you remember, this is kind of right off that living room and right off our front entry. We can either go left to the kitchen or right downstairs here to the basement. I mean, it is what it is. 100-some-odd-year-old basement. I don't see any glaring issues. You can tell they've done some spot patching along it, but it doesn't appear to be very convex or concave. This wall still looks pretty flat. Anyway, here's the old boiler system and the new boiler system. Water heater, also electric. Additional, I don't know if those were just water tanks from a well or something, or what those reservoirs are for there, but you know, having just had a little bit of rain last week, there's not any standing moisture. There's some dampness in corners and along some seams you can see, but I don't see anything unexpected per se. The old wood-burning stove, which is the only way you could make this a garage, would be to take all this out, and then it wouldn't be a very large one at that. No, not with this up here. I don't think my truck, well, it might fit, but it would be a close call. But anyway, that'd be more to explore. Here's that walkout, kind of that we walked past on the way out there. You don't have any of the 3 Sirius recall brands, so that's a plus. Your main electric panel is fully tapped out, so you've got these 2 sub panels, which both seem to have some space, so that's good if you decide to add that hot tub on the back deck or whatever. In here we've just kind of got what I would say is your safest room during a storm. We've got concrete ceilings, walls. Other than that one, I'm guessing used to be a window or something, but other than that, kind of just a good little root cellar room. This really is our current furnace. It's old. It says Carrier air conditioning, so maybe it's just the air handler, but I don't know. That's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I would expect that there's some kind of furnace, heat. Well, I don't know. It might just be the radiant heat, but that's what inspections are for. Anyway, I'm going to log off here. I'll get this uploaded to YouTube and sent over later today. Thanks.